Every year, Polk County Public Schools announces their teacher and school-related employee of the year. Polk County Public Schools recognize finalists from all 7 districts, and the overall winners were announced at the Inspire Awards presented by Mid-Florida Credit Union. The Inspire Awards were held November 7th at the RP Funding Center in Lakeland. Tracey Downey works at Ridge Community High and teaches U.S. history at Ridge Community High and also coaches the cheerleading team. But her influence doesn't just stop there. Mrs. Downey leads a professional development and serves as a mentor for fellow educators. She also sponsors Ridge's Student Government Association and helps organize the school's prom, pep rallies, and cultural celebrations. Wow, that is full. I got to introduce you all to Tracey Downey. I thought I had a full day.
You know, it's an every other day thing.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's so nice to be here.
Yeah. So, met one of your friends a little bit ago.
Yes.
You are a legend.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to write Dear Diary.
Talk to me a little bit about your career with Polk County Public Schools.
I started in 2007. I moved down here. I worked in Osceola County first. The long story short, I became a sub for one day, and that afternoon I was asked if I would be a teacher. They came in and they said, "Have you ever thought about being a teacher instead of a sub?" And I said, "No." And they said, "You should do it." And I became a teacher, taught in Osceola for 2 years, and then moved here because I met my husband, fell in love. So came to here and then have been in Polk County for 21 years.
Yeah.
I spent 3 years at Sleepy Hill Elementary School. We opened that school. It was awesome. That's where I know Mandy from. Mandy and I opened that together. And then I've been at Ridge Community High School the last 16. So
talk to me a little bit about that community where you teach. It's Dundee-ish, so you have that small.
It's more
Dundee, Davenport.
Yeah.
So you have that small town appeal. Talk to me a little bit about, it's where everybody knows everybody. Talk to me a little bit about that.
So it was kind of crazy. When I first went to interview with Sherry T. Wells 16 years ago, it wasn't even on Google Maps. So the school had been open for 5 years, and I was supposed to be at the interview at a certain time. And I called her and I said, "This is so unprofessional. I can't find you." And she said, "Do you see the orange groves?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "I'm going to turn on the football lights." And I said, "Okay." And they turned on the stadium lights, and I'm like, "Got you." And I went because the address took you to a fire hydrant in the middle of nowhere. Like that's literally where Orchid Drive took you. So I went over there, and from that point, there was maybe, I'm going to say 2,200 kids at that school. It was really cool. Everybody was bussed in because everything was orange groves, and then it just blew up because everybody's moving. Everybody has been moving to that area for so long. And our school is very unique because one road on one side is Davenport and the road on the other side is Haines City. So we are literally the best of both worlds, and neither one of them claim us when they don't want us, and they love us when they want us. So it's really neat to be a part of it.
So what is a typical day for you? I mean, in that intro, I was like, that's a career for me. That's got to be a day for you?
It is. Yeah. It depends on the day.
Yeah.
So coaching every day. So typically I come in first thing in the morning. I'm also the Civics Leadership Academy advisor. So my first 2 periods are civics leadership, which is a really cool academy that we got funding for through Polk State College and DeSantis. And so we do that first period, and then first and second. And then I do I teach college too, so I do dual enrollment. And then after my dual enrollment class, I do my regular honors classes of U.S. history. Leave there, and then I go to cheer. And then after cheer, I either do Polk State College at night, or I'm on a plane to go to somewhere else in the United States for Bill of Rights Institute, or I'm just being a mom.
Talk to me a little bit. In these days, getting children, school age, high school, interested in, obviously you're teaching history, which is something that it isn't one of those sexy classes.
I mean, I think it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I do too. I love history. But, you're teaching the student government, and then you're also instilling that pride factor within the school. Talk to me about the challenges you run into on any day with any of those.
You know, out of all of the things that you're asking, I would say that school spirit is probably the hardest. Whether it be I'm too cool, whether it be I can't be a part of it, just different things like that. Teaching U.S. history and teaching civics has its challenges. You have to get buy-in. And the students, when they trust that you have their best interest and they trust that you love them and you're willing to dress like a Christmas tree during Spirit Week, then they're willing to do it. There's always a challenge with my kids trying to outbeat me for Spirit Day. So, I've dressed as ZZ Top. I've dressed as, you name it. I'm not a Kiss.
Yeah.
With the face paint and the whole 9 yards of dressed as a
that
Christmas
ZZ
tree.
Top with the beards.
See, yeah. I looked great with that. This year I was Elvira.
Yeah,
the day before they announced me.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it wasn't the day before.
Yeah.
But I was,
We're going to get to that. But
so it was kind of neat. It's kind of just a matter of getting them. They have to know that you're willing to do that as well. And as far as teaching history, I make them love it.
Yeah.
I have to link it. Regardless of what we're talking about, they have to understand the link to them. And if I can get that, then they love it.
To this day, I remember my junior and senior history teacher, same guy, man,
awesome.
and so many lessons learned in that. So
that's all I want.
Yeah. 2007, been doing this gig. So there's a lot of moments when you made the career choice, but do you have a defining moment when you looked at a situation, something that happened that you said, yeah, I made the right choice? Because you talked about, you're going to start off as a substitute teacher, and then all of a sudden it became a career. So talk to me about that moment that you said, yeah, this is the right thing.
So my whole life I wanted to be a teacher. That was my job. That was what I knew I was going to do. And then I got the Disney bug. I moved here and I went on the Disney College program. And so they give you the world. What's not magical about that? I was best friends with the fairy godmother for 25 years. And so that was me. I loved it and I was full time and that's what I wanted to do. My grandmother, I went to visit her in Texas. I'd come back and she said, why aren't you teaching? And I said, I don't know. I kind of think I want to be a mass communications major. And she was like, what is that? No one remembers that. No one will remember you for that. And I thought, ouch, that's kind of harsh. And she said, you'll leave an impact. Just try it. So I was like, all right, well, let me go back and think about this. So I went back, and like I said, I substituted for her and was hired that day. And I knew that day, like being with those kids, I was like, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then when they got rid of social studies in elementary school, or they put it into the reading curriculum, I knew I wanted to teach social studies. So I made the switch to high school. So I went from 5th grade to seniors. They were so tall, they were so big. But I think when you watch kids graduate, that graduation ceremony, you just know, you're like, this was the right thing.
I'm gonna wipe a tear because I'm a mass comm major.
I still love mass comm, I do. I love doing it, but it's like, but to have her say that was kind of like, and then it was also really neat, side note, after my grandfather passed away, they gave me a trunk. And inside that trunk was tons and tons and tons of newspapers, old newspaper clippings, John F. Kennedy getting shot, Ronald Reagan, all of these things that my grandfather kept for me for school. So I was like, okay.
You had mentioned the surprise moment when they get the whole school out there in front of you. And it's usually somebody's running, the end around, keeping you in the blind, and all of a sudden they open the doors and ta-da! How did your moment happen?
So, I'm going to get emotional with this one. So, as the cheer coach, I should be involved, and my daughter happens to be the cheer captain this year, and Mr. Blankenship said to her, hey, I need the cheerleaders. He told me, I need the cheerleaders on this date, and I said, okay, are you going to cover my class so I can come down and coach? And he said, I don't need you to coach. I was like, what? And he's like, I don't need you to coach. And I said, okay. And he's like, I just need him to, it's fine, someone's coming to visit. And I was like, oh. So then my daughter comes home and is like, yeah, I have to do something for Mr. Blankenship on that day. And I'm like, oh, that's the cheer thing. What are you guys doing? What is he telling you? And she was like, nothing. He doesn't want to talk to me about it. I'm like, okay. So this went on and on and on. Well, then my civics kids were like, I'm going to be out of class. I'm like, what do you mean you're going to be out of class? I have to go somewhere. I was like, what is happening? So the day of the thing comes, the night before, I'm dressed as Elvira, and I say to my husband, tomorrow's New Orleans Day. Should I wear jeans and a New Orleans shirt, or should I wear a dress for purple, thing? Well, we had been told we were going to a mayor's visit, and at the last minute they said you can't go. So I kept complaining to my daughter. I'm like, I can't believe we can't go to this. I want you guys to meet the mayor, like making a big deal about it. And she was like, it's fine, Mom, it's fine. I'm like, okay. So I said, I'm gonna wear jeans. She comes down and looks me in the eyes and goes, what if we can go to the mayor thing? I said, why would we go to the, well, I emailed him and he told me we might, so just dress for the occasion. I'm like, okay. So she puts on her cheer uniform. I'm like, well, what if we go to the mayor thing? She's like, I brought my stuff. I'm like, okay. So my kids, my teachers, they all know me so well. So my room faces the courtyard. So that day in my classroom, I had everyone working at the back desk so I could see the courtyard because I wanted to see where the cheerleaders were going because they wouldn't tell me. And then people started coming in my room. They're like, why is everyone at the back tables? I'm like, we're making posters. They're like, move up here. That's stupid. I'm like, okay. And I kept looking out the window. Then they finally got me to go down because they said they needed civics. So I was like, come on, Mr. Blankenship needs you. So we walked down there. And then I said, y'all go, they need you. And they were like, you go first. Like, what if we're in trouble? And I was like, you guys, that's stupid. So I walked to the door, Mr. Blankenship comes in, opens the door and goes, come in. And I was like, oh, it's for you guys. And he was like, come in. So I said, okay. And then I walked in and then it dawned on me what was going on. I saw the poster and then I realized that my daughter and my husband had been in cahoots the whole time.
Yeah.
So he was there and she was the first one I saw. So I just burst into tears. I was so shocked. I still can't believe it.
In a 21-year career, you've set the trail on fire, done some incredible things.
Thank you.
But you didn't get there alone. Talk about the people that have been beside you, whether it's the administrators. I mean, there's so many people that I've asked this question, from the janitor all the way to the lunch to, talk about the people that have put you on this path.
I mean, I would say, first and foremost, my family. I have a husband that literally walks around and shines a flashlight on me at all times. Like, that's my wife. She can be in the spotlight. And then I had a daughter, and then my daughter, too, is like, scoot over, let me have it with you, but she's quick to turn it on me. So those two are they're my rock. But teachers that I work with, from Mandy all the way through, they have been incredible. And you go through your day, and the day can be tough. You're dealing with kids. Some days they're up, they're excited, and some days they are just, you're like, wow, do you hear me at all?
Yeah.
And it's those teachers alongside you that make you laugh, make you go through your day. Your administrators who can see it in your eyes, who are like, bump out, I'm gonna go take the phone, they just, but even for us, for cheerleading, I couldn't do it without our custodial staff.
Yeah.
We practice in the cafeteria. We, every single day, pick the tables up, roll mats out, roll them back out, put the tables down every night. And every night, we will miss a table. We will put it in the wrong order. And without telling on me, my custodial staff will just move whatever needs to be done. And incredible. My administration, everything about Ridge is incredible.
Well, I want to thank you for coming in today and sharing your story. Really, really excited for everything that you've accomplished, and thank you for sharing the story.
Thank you for being a part of it.
That's going to do it for our conversation with Tracey Downey. Now, we invite you to check out our talks with the other finalists and the entire Inspire Awards show. If you need more information, go to polkschoolsfl.com or follow them on Facebook at Polk County Public Schools.